how did the Decian persecution impact early Christianity? As Christians, we often overestimate state-sponsored persecution of Christians, but it was actually sporadic but severe. But we also tend to simplify how it happened. Intending to remove the Christian culture from Roman society, Emperor Decius' persecution managed to substantially harm early Christianity by distorting certain aspects of its theology. This led to, first, divisions within the church. Second, it led Christian culture to be emphasizing martyrdom. And third, it helped popularize the practice of relic collection. And it's important to note that this partially happened because Romans hated Christians, but that was partially because of their misunderstanding of what Christianity was. First, it led to divisions within the church. Whether or not to allow a sacrifice proof that was enforced by Emperor Decian, whether or not those who had one could be let back into the church or not, was a big deal. Cyprian said that it was bad because, quote, Cyprian said that the sudden persecution was bad because, quote, this long peace, however, was afterwards interrupted. Decius appeared in the world an accursed wild beast to afflict the church, and who but a bad man hates religion, unquote. There was the debate of whether or not also became a very large deal versus the Pope versus Novatian in 251, and there was also Dionysus involved too. Donatism was also a type of rigorism which was most certainly against letting them back in, but the penance saw which was the main church, said that it was fine to let them back in. That it led to a traitors issue. Did they betray the church? The church was so divided that it maybe also helped lead to the rise of Islam because it unified and was almost seen as a new type of Christianity. Second, martyrdoms in 250 led to the foundation of new churches, led to new foundations in 313. The edict of Milan. This fact led to the reliance of martyrs. One example of this is Perpetua. Quote, Perpetua is really being preserved by her community as a role model. She marks off the heroic limit against which other Christians can measure themselves, unquote, said Paula Fredrickson. This also started the emergence of prayers to saints, which is arguably not actually a good Christian practice, depending on who you ask and where their sources are, and so on and so forth. It started the construction of materiums from relics, too. And third, this all led to the emergence of relic collection. it was a belief of a historic, heroic. It's believed that martyrs, although not, uh, although it's not like, although not all people tend to believe it, when they look at the facts, it's tend to believe a historic, heroic minority of people that ended up being martyrs. Paula Fredrickson said that, quote, "We don't have tens of thousands of people being martyred. What we do have is tens of thousands of people admiring the few who are," unquote. It almost became a cult of relics, though, and so there was pushback. Vigilantes versus St. Jerome was one such case. We have some records of collecting as early as 155 AD. Vigilantes said it was too similar to pagan rituals. Jerome claimed it helped know the martyrs better. Aquinas said they were temples of God, essentially, because all people are temples of God, and so their relics would be too. So, although we, as Christians, we tend to overestimate the impact that martyrdoms actually had. No, that like the how widespread and how impact and like how many martyrs state-sponsored persecution caused. The Decian persecution had a heavy impact on early Christianity because first it led to divisions within the church. Second, it led to the Christian culture that emphasized martyrdom. And third, it helped popularize practice of relic collection. Thank you.